Hello, beautiful people. Today is Wednesday, February 9th, and you don't have to make it a great day because today is already great. Do you want to know why? Because you're about to spend 5 minutes using word and wisdom to discover, develop, and deploy your unique greatness so that you can change the world. So lean in. This is the Daily Devo. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Daily Devo. I'm your host, Losco, and I'm so incredibly excited that you all are here today on this Wednesday for another time of devotion. This week we're talking about God's plans for our lives. Remember, we started this week off with Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9, and it says, "The mind of the human plans its way, but God directs its steps." We have plans, but God has steps already ordered for us. And when we come into agreement with the steps that God has for our lives, we're able to walk in purpose. And I'm gonna spend some time talking about purpose because I think it's incredibly important. I don't want to get sidetracked because it's something that oh man, I really could go I really could go on that for a very long time, so I don't want to get distracted, but I'm going to spend some time talking about purpose. But today I want to lean into some indicators of that purpose. Now, here's something that we talked about yesterday, okay? Before you were ever formed in your parents' mind, before you were ever formed in your mother's womb, before anyone ever knew who you were or knew your name or were ever put in a position to have plans for you, God already had plans for you, okay? And God is so incredibly faithful that all throughout your life, God has been developing and forming you. God does not waste time. God does not have things that God will allow to happen in and around your life that are going to be wasted. So you have to ask yourself the question, how has everything in my life since I was born been leading me to my purpose? Now, once some of you have kind of discerned that already, but here's another indicator of purpose, okay? And this is one of the more challenging indicators of purpose. And we're still using Jeremiah. So we're going to look at Jeremiah chapter 1, and I want to read verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 6. Remember, yesterday we read the fact that Jesus says to Jeremiah, "Before you were ever formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I consecrated you and set you apart as a prophet to the nations." Okay. Here's Jeremiah's response to God. And this is what I want us to think about for ourselves. Here's Jeremiah's response. Verse 6. "Ah, Lord, truly, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a boy." I do not know how to speak, for I am only a boy. Now, many times we'll look at this text and we'll assume that this is an area of insecurity for Jeremiah. But I want us to consider something different for ourselves. Potentially, this is not even insecurity. This is awareness. Because often when we get confronted with our purpose, we often simultaneously get confronted with the limitations of who and how we are today. And we understand that what it takes for us to accomplish our purpose requires development. Oh, my Father, requires development. And the reason why I think this is a moment of awareness for Jeremiah is because of Jesus, or I'm sorry, not Jesus, but God's response to Jeremiah. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But today, I want us to think about this for ourselves. What are some areas that, as we think about what God's purpose might be for our lives, that we have been confronted with our own awareness of ourselves? In other words, where have you been feeling challenged to grow? Where have you been feeling challenged to develop? What have you been feeling challenged to develop in your life? What unique environments have you been feeling a pull toward in order to develop certain things in your life? Maybe it's a new language for a different level. Maybe it's a different type of discipline for a different type of disposition that you have to have. What have you been feeling challenged to develop? And this could be offering us some unique awareness, not only of what our purpose is, but what we need to do in order to accomplish it. Remember, here on the Daily Devo, we want you to discover, develop, and then deploy your unique greatness. So what are you aware of that needs to be developed? That's been the Daily Devo for today. Remember, before tomorrow hits, share the Daily Devo with someone. And tomorrow we're going to talk about God's response to Jeremiah and how this is also an indicator for what our calling and what our purpose just might be. I can't wait for it.